Good morning and thanks so much for tuning in to the Trade Setup with me, Neeraj Shah. It's a big day, literally, figuratively and more. Now, why is it a big day? There are two or three reasons really. One, it's a big day today because JP Morgan adds India bonds to the emerging market index starting today. And it opens up India's $1.3 trillion market to the broad range of investors across the world. Now, some of it was already there. People through various means have already put in the flows into the Indian debt paper since September last year when JP Morgan first made the announcement that they will actually add India to the emerging market index. But today is the day. And JP Morgan for itself believes that there is about $20 to $25 billion of inflows that could come in to the bond markets, Indian bond markets in the next 10 months. So that's the long and short of it. For a lot of you who are asking why is this important, it's important simply because it adds a lot of weight to foreign flows coming into India. In a year wherein equity flows or FPI flows may not necessarily be the strongest, this is a big layer of inflows that comes in, helps the rupee as well, and it could be interesting. Let's see. A few days ago I had done this small piece on Trade Setup itself about how there could be $2 billion worth of flows in today's session itself based on what some of the global guys that Bloomberg had interviewed had said. Let's see if that happens. Let's see if the rupee were to appreciate today. And let's see if the RBI has to intervene to actually protect the rupee when it's appreciating so much as well. Lots of ponderables, of course, but it's a big day today from that perspective. It's a big day today from a telecom perspective, and I'll get to that in a moment. But first, the global news flow. US markets ended in the green, Asia's positive. Japan's benchmark topic stock index is heading for 1990 highs. For the longest time, for people who don't know this, Japanese markets were completely in a slumber. They've woken up in the last 12 to 18 to 24 months, and they've woken up, and how? They're really rallying strongly and headed for 1990 highs. If they indeed do better, maybe 3% more, then they will eclipse the record highs as well. But it's back to a record high for the Japanese markets after like 34 years. That's something really. Oil prices have gained 1% as the Israel-Lebanon tensions are looming over the US demand. And the Biden-Trump debate is underway with high stakes for both. Now, by the time you're seeing this, the debate may be over as well. But this is a big election that everybody is now watching forward to. So looking forward to, so therefore important. US markets did okay. Asia's largely in the green. Nothing dramatic, but largely in the green. Nikkei, of course, has done so well, which is the other thing to keep an eye out for. And the implied open for our markets, about 100 odd points, so 24,205 for the GIFT Nifty. Now, frankly, if you ask me as from a trade setup perspective, how is this looking? Well, we've done really well. Let's bring the trade setup up on the screen. We've done really well. It's a higher low formation with high volumes for the third day. It was not only just a higher high, higher low formation, but it was a higher high, higher low formation with very strong volumes for a third day on a trot. Just shows the momentum that the market is in. To my mind, this now seems a bit stretched, to be honest, but the markets could inch up another 200, 300 points. Who knows? Calling up the top, as I was saying yesterday, has been virtually impossible for our markets in the last few times. But this is now getting a bit stretched, you have to admit it. So be careful with leverage longs. Get out of, if you made some money in some stocks which are just trading punts, might be a good idea to block some of those profits as well. Remember yesterday too, a lot of mid caps and small caps were correcting, so that's to be borne in mind as well. Now it's imperative for IT to now start doing well if banking consolidates. Yesterday was the first sign of Bank Nifty consolidating, but IT doing well. For the Nifty to inch up higher, Nifty IT has to do well to mask the small consolidation that we might see in banking if banking consolidates. Because remember, hitherto banks have done very well. Yesterday was the first day. Let's see if there is more in store. Difficult to call out pockets. This bond inclusion impact too, it's unlikely to have any material impact on equity flows, but will certainly aid sentiment. And from a pockets perspective, it has to be telecom. I was talking about this yesterday and I was talking about this day before, and I say this again today. Now the event has happened. Not that we knew that the event is happening, but the market move showed that there is something. The screen was telling that there is something on the anvil, and it has happened. Just look at what Vodafone has done. The fundraise from GQG and some of the others happened at what, 11.5 or 12 rupees. In less than 6 months, Vodafone is up 18. For everybody who said that, oh no, Vodafone is risky, etc., the stock has given 50% returns. 50%. and that tells you something. Nevertheless, let's get the announcement up on the screen. This is 6 months, 39%, but from the lows, it's about a 50% move. Nevertheless, let's get the news flow and the newsmakers. So, telecom stocks in focus, not just Reliance, by the way. Reliance, Airtel, Vodafone, Indus, all of them in focus because Reliance Jio has initiated a price hike of 20%, nearly 20%. The lower prepaid plans and 2 postpaid plans have seen hikes. It's selective, but it has happened. The market leader has paved the way for further price hikes. Analysts expect about a 20% tariff hike to lead to a 15% increase in ARPUs, and this 15% increase in ARPUs may lead to about 11 and a 17% uptick in revenues and EBITDA estimates. 17% uptick in EBITDA. Now, some of this is priced in, but is all of that priced in? Don't know. Maybe if the stocks open a gap up today, and all of them, not just saying Reliance, Vodafone, Airtel, maybe even an Indus, then some of this might be completely baked in, but not quite yet maybe. In fact, the Citi note today says that they are most bullish on Indus Towers because they believe there's a series of triggers ahead for Indus. So watch out for Indus Towers if you can pull that stock up. Yesterday ended at 367, if I'm not wrong, 365. Has had a really good run. In 6 months, the stock has doubled. Quite something, isn't it? Let's wait and watch if there is more in store. Okay, some block deals, and some of it is media sources, some of it is what's happening via people in the know. But Polycab is the first one. Promoters will likely sell up to 2.04% stake via block deal. The price is at 6535 to 6989, which is a discount of up to 6.5% at the lower end. Remember, a lot of shorts built up on Polycab yesterday already. The stock was down. Let's see if there is more in store. If it gets absorbed well, then the stock may actually recover very quickly. This is the first one. There are 2 more. Sami Hotels, GTI Capital will sell up to 1 crore shares via block deals. Again, the price is at 187, the floor price, so not too much of a discount. Maybe the appetite is strong. Be careful with this one. It may not really correct too much. The third one, a very likely block today at over 2% discount in HCL Tech, so that's something to watch out for as well. Again, a 2% discount is not very high. Maybe the stock doesn't react negatively at all. Okay, what else? JSW Ports will acquire 70.37% stake in Navkar Corp at 95.61, and it's mandated to make an open offer for up to 3.91 crore shares as well. So watch out for these stocks. It's at 105. Navkar Corp is the other one that you got to watch out for as well. So, you know, this whole consolidation game that's happening in cement, in infrastructure pockets is something to watch out for. What else? Let's pull up the other stocks. BHEL has won an EPC package of 13,300 crores from DVC for a power plant of 1.6 gigs. Watch out for BHEL, may react positively today. In fact, I'm pretty certain will react positively today. This one could well start off positively, and depending on the announcement may do better. It's a 5% circuit, remember, but there's a press conference today for an announcement on WCK 5222. This, remember viewers, is arguably one of the most important drugs for Work Hard. In their press release, they've said that it's an important announcement. We do not know how important it is. We do not know whether it's a stock moving announcement or no, but the market may want to believe that it is, and therefore you might see some bit of reaction on this stock ahead of the presser. I think the press conference is at 12:30 p.m. Be mindful of that. What else? Of course, RBL Bank and AU Small Finance Bank are going to do some fundraising. 3,500 crores for RBL Bank and slightly more for AU Small Finance Bank. Typically for financials, fundraising is great because it lowers the book values, therefore the price to book multiple goes down, or rather enhances the book values so the price to book multiple goes down, and therefore it opens up room for some upsides depending on how successful the fundraise is. So watch out for both of these as well. And a couple of brokerage notes. MK has come out with a note on Star Health. They've upgraded to a buy with a target price of 650 versus 525 earlier. So watch out for Star Health. Multiple reasons, but effectively the first plate was the key thing. They are saying that it does not consider composite licensing a threat, and the profit growth and the premiums. So they believe the premiums will go up 2x to $300 billion rupees, and they are confident of increasing PAT 3x over FY24 to 28. If they manage to do that, why shouldn't MK be optimistic? MK is also optimistic on Man Industries, by the way. That's the other stock on their radar, which they are positive on, with a target price of 500. Initiated with the buy rating, target price 27% upside on Man, was down about 2.5% today. Let's see if it reacts positively. They're saying the stock is yet to factor in project execution here on. Very quickly, viewers, now some stocks on which I haven't given graphics for, but I'll just read out what people have to say. So, geo tariff hikes, most people are saying that they are constructive on Bharti as well. They say, so Jeffries, for example, says, over FY24 to 27, Airtel's 15 and 16% CAGR in revenues and EBITDA should sustain current valuations. They have a buy on Airtel with a target price of 17.20. So that's as far as Jio goes, or rather Airtel goes. Jeffries has downgraded SRF. They have maintained and underperformed. The target price has been raised to 2125, but they will underperform on SRF because of multiple headwinds, is what they say. So watch out for that stock as well. There is one note from Motilal Oswal on Godrej Properties. Their target price is 3600, about a 16% upside on that one. So keep an eye out for that as well. And yeah, we'll also react to auto sales, by the way, at some point of time in the next 2 or 3 days. So that's something to watch out for too. And of course, cement stocks may likely continue to see momentum. So keep an eye out for that as well. So these are a few things that you got to keep in mind in the session today. Thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup.